We're almost halfway through for the 60-day period to see if there will be a nationwide injunction for pistol braces or what the next steps are with them. So we're all still waiting to hear what is going to happen after the 60-day period and the decision that they make on if there is going to be a nationwide injunction. And is that really even a good thing if there is a nationwide injunction? So we're going to be going over that in the video, and then later going to be going over some of the more frequently asked questions I received from my last video and trying to clear up some things that might be misunderstood, just so everyone is clear on what you can and cannot do. I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Brownells. Absolutely love this website. They have everything that you could want. They're like the Amazon of gun parts, and this is where I ended up building this gun from. So you can get all these parts on their website. You can also save 10% off using code TA10 on $150 or more, and that will save you a ton of money, especially on projects like this, to be able to build another project, start a second project. But love these guys. They support my channel a ton, and I really appreciate everything they do. If you aren't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell if you guys want updates on all the things that I'm doing, and we'll get right into the video. And this is also the new Guardian that I'll be testing here. It's pre-released from Radian, and there'll be a full video coming on that very soon. So currently there are injunctions for your pistol braces, and what that means for those of you that might not have been following along this whole process is the fact that it basically, they're allowing you to still have pistol braces while the court process is going on, as long as you are part of the FPC, Maximum Defense, Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, those groups, as long as you're a part of them, you are covered under these injunctions, or the past to still allow you to use braces until the final ruling is issued. We said it was a win when we saw that the court had brought that back down and said, hey, you probably should take a second look at this, maybe go for a nationwide injunction. And really, is that a win if we might get a nationwide injunction to then potentially maybe win this case? I think we really should be more worried, or maybe pay more attention to the fact that we shouldn't even be in this position in the first place. It's kind of worrying that it's taking this long and we're having to put this much effort into this, have had this right. These have been legal for a decade. So this is kind of worrying me in that sense. Obviously, these little wins in court cases are a great thing, and it's good because it could potentially lead to a win in the case, but it isn't something that I want to celebrate too much, especially if we win and we're like, yay, we won this case. It's so exciting. We're good to go, because we're not. It's kind of troubling that this is even getting this far in the court process when it should be very simply, absolutely not, unconstitutional, and then be done with it. And there shouldn't even be a court case, and we shouldn't have to be sitting here worrying, should I have my pistol braces? Should I take them off? Am I legally allowed to have them? Because there's still so much confusion from people. A lot of people I know are holding off on buying anything under 16 inches because they're just so afraid to see what happens. And I think it's ridiculous that we should be so afraid for this long period of time. This has been a while. This has been going on for months, that we've been kind of in this gray area of, am I allowed to use this? Am I allowed to show this off? Should I even be purchasing these? Because here in whoever knows how long, it's just going to now be illegal and I'm not going to be able to use it anymore. I just wasted my money. So it's kind of frustrating in that sense, and I don't want to take away from the fact that these little wins are a good thing, because it is. Any win that you can get is a good thing, and I want to make sure you understand that I'm agreeing that it's a win and it's good. But it's not good in the sense that in the grand scheme of things, we shouldn't be in this position. And I don't want to get too excited about these wins when we should be pushing towards the bigger picture, and the fact that they shouldn't be able to encroach in our rights this far and be able to kind of gain leeway doing it. Don't think we should have to worry when we have the Constitution to back us up. We have the right to bear arms, and we shouldn't have to be worried about what kind of arms or what style of what attachments should be a part of those arms. It should just be the right to bear those arms, and that's it. I try not to get into a rant and go on with it, but you guys know this frustrates me, and they're playing with people's lives, and I don't like that, especially the people that don't keep up to date with this. There's so many gun owners, and the reason that you're a gun owner is because you buy a gun to protect yourself and your family, and you shouldn't have to worry about that, because you worry about your firearms, and if you can legally have them, then makes you worry about your family's safety. You start messing with my family's safety is when I really start to get really frustrated, because I should be able to protect my family any way I see fit. So now let's go over those questions that I've been asked frequently, just to try to clear some things up, because I want to make sure for those of you that want to follow the law exactly how it is written right now, I want to make sure to help you in that sense. And for those of you that you're kind of doing your own thing, to at least be able to help you as well. So I'm trying to answer these questions so to maybe clear some things up. So the first and most frequent question I've been getting asked is, okay, now that we're in the 60-day period and there's an injunction, everybody's covered, right? No, not everybody is covered. You have to be under the FPC and the multiple other foundations that I mentioned to be able to be covered by these injunctions. Now that does cover a ton of people, but not everybody. There still are a good amount of people that aren't members of these organizations, but if you are covered. You've donated, you're a member of those organizations, you are fine. You are covered under the injunction, you can have your pistol braces, and you're okay. So just continue to do what you were doing to wait further instruction, I guess is the best way to put it, or to hear what the court has to do. For those of you that aren't a part of those organizations, you are not covered under the injunction. So if you fall under that category, now you have to decide what is best for you and your family and what you should do. Should you become a member of those organizations? Maybe, if that's what you see fit. Obviously, these organizations are fighting for our rights. If it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't even be here, and our rights would probably already been taken. So I do think it's a good thing to donate to these people. I don't think you should have to. I think it's ridiculous that your freedoms and your rights should be based on the fact if you donated to an organization. I don't think that's fair, and I think it's ridiculous that this injunction is only for certain people, but I do think it's a good thing to donate just because they are fighting for our rights, and it's a good thing to assist and help and support these companies and organizations that are doing that. Now, going along with that, the next question I get is, I wasn't a member or I wasn't a donor before. If I do it now, am I still covered? And to answer you honestly, I don't know. I would imagine, I don't see why not, because you're a member still. It doesn't matter when you become a member. I would think you would be, but I don't know the 100% answer to that. Are they gonna be able to pull records and say, okay, you donated 2 months after, or 2 days after the injunction was placed, you don't count. Don't see how they could do that, but I don't 100% know the answer to that one. I would imagine, yes, you will be covered because you're under their blanket of a member, but again, that's going to be something you're going to have to decide on your own or kind of interpret yourself. Now, the last question I get asked a lot is, can't I just remove the brace off my firearm and I'm fine and I can just wait? And originally that was okay, and that's kind of where I think a lot of people were at. They were like, I'll just remove it, I'll take it off, that's fine. We'll wait to see what happens. And I think people were okay with that in the sense that at least you weren't afraid of getting 10 years in federal prison for having that on your gun. You could just kind of hold back and wait. The ATF director then confirmed that by saying, yes, absolutely, you can just remove it. We tried to make it simple. In this clip here,
there also can be detachment. So in other words, we don't count. That's not for us to regulate. If somebody we wrote the rule to make it easy to comply with. If somebody just at their home detaches the weapon from the brace and keeps them apart, they do not have to register anything. They can keep the brace, they can keep the business end of the gun.
And then the ATF went back on that and was like, oh, whoa, hold on. We're about to make this real confusing if it wasn't confusing already. You can't do that now. So no, you can't. Now, under the current understanding, no, you cannot just remove your brace and just leave it off and say, yes, you're good to go. That is not okay per the ATF's updated stance. Originally, yes, then no, then the director confirmed yes, and then they said no again. So they're just going to continue to change their minds to continue to confuse you. So a lot of these questions are not silly questions. A lot of people are like, I'm sorry for asking these questions, or this is a silly question. It's not a silly question. It's just that when you probably watched a video on it or you were updated on the situation, it was okay. And then they changed their mind, which is the big problem here. They just keep changing things. It makes it so difficult for law-abiding citizens to follow the rules. So if you want to stay tuned with everything that's going on and all the updates, I try to update you as frequently as possible. There was a while that we just didn't have any information. It's been like 3 weeks and we haven't really heard anything, so I didn't do a video on it. I don't want to just do pointless videos, but I kept receiving messages and questions about this, so I wanted to at least give an update, and since it's halfway point, kind of go over where we're at with stuff. So if you were wanting to know as soon as possible, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and that will keep you updated because I will be doing videos on this as soon as they happen and keeping you guys updated. If you're looking to help out the channel, there's a couple ways to do that. Down in the description are some discount codes from companies I personally trust that you can use to save some money, and there's a link to my link tree from there. You can use other links to make purchases, and it does help us support the channel a ton. Also, just started doing Patreon if you guys are interested in doing that. I'm going to try to dabble in it. We'll see if it works. I'm just looking into doing like behind the scenes. I give you guys kind of first access to pre-release products that are coming out and give you guys more information than what I give on the channel. A little bit more personal experience if I can is kind of the goal with that. So we'll try it out, see if it works. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, that's a great way to do that. There's a link in the description. And a couple companies that support me in the channel and things I do here. Howitzer, Brownells, and Hold Up Display. Hold Up Display makes the racks behind me, which are freaking awesome. And this whole room is set up pretty cool with those. Howitzer is a clothing brand, donates 5% of proceeds to charity. Absolutely love these guys. They also have a collaboration with me and my own t-shirt. If you guys want to pick one up and support the channel that way, there's a link in the description. Brownells, you can use code TA10, save 10% off orders $150 or more. And I highly recommend you take advantage of that. And you can actually pick this up, the Radiant Guardian, when that comes out, and save 10% on it. Other than that, guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate you all.